And welcome back to The Average White Guys. My name is Alex Haynes, one of the owners of A Squared. We help people get noticed online and reach more people. So if you're interested in learning about our done-for-you services or even our coaching services, which we do online or in person, I finally got those words out, check out the link below. And I'm here with illustrious, glorious, almost brand new, glowing internally, as if he has some great wisdom to impart to us. Almost Buddha-like, the Justice Accountant. Say hi.
Hey everybody, this is Justin with LLW Community Real Estate Services. Glad to be here. We are going to talk about the cliche thing at the beginning of the year. What are your plans?
What are your plans? Oh, wise one, tell us.
This year, our main goal, at least for the company, is embracing AI. I know we've been talking about that in some of our podcasts.
Be still my heart. I have never been more giddy and happy to hear this. Go on. Tell me more.
Well, we've been struggling with the new software we got, and it's starting to pan out for us a lot more, so we're happier with it now that we're into it. It'll be almost a year now. And one of the things, I just went to a seminar today, and they are integrating more AI, 2 different sources, into their software that is just going to make our job so much easier. And so as much people are talking about, the whole Matrix revolution, how AI is going to take over everything for us, it's not there yet, so I'm going to embrace it until that happens. And so that's my biggest thing that we are going to be working on, is how to make the employees happier, hopefully, because it's going to be making their job easier.
Well, that's really cool. Now, it may not surprise anyone what mine is. It may. I am working on really focusing on optimizing our website, our funnels, our sales process, and increasing our conversion for our online coaching program. As you know, we launched our online coaching program this year, and we've made sales, and we have people on it. And not as many people as I was hoping for, but honestly, it was a great start. I think I mentioned a while back, we did a Black Friday sale. I was really bummed. I only got a couple sales. I didn't get the sales I wanted. And then Quinn and I did the math about how many emails we sent out, and then my numbers were amazing. Comparatively what I should have gotten versus what I did, we did 3 to 5 times more than what most people get as far as conversion. So we did really well. I just then hit my magic number, right? And so he pointed that out. So this year, my focus on is improving my system, which is a little weird because I'm not a systems guy, but I understand the value of our system, and I really want it to be the best it can be. That means we're going to be shooting more videos to explain what we do. We want to have more testimony highlights, so social proof. We want to really understand and nail the pricing value and understand what you're getting out of that. We're going to add, we'd like to double the content that we currently have. So we have over 5 hours of teaching content, over 60 videos right now. So I want to get that to 120 by end of next year. That's a lot of video content for training purposes, right? So these are the things I'm trying to do with my business, which is really improving on something we started this last year that's brand new to us, and really refine things to serve our end customer better, and that the experience the minute they get to our landing page, they get some interest about learning how to use things like AI, like we talked about, that there is no reason for them to say no. So we're trying to build a better mousetrap, so to speak. And that goes way beyond marketing. We're talking about all these different interactions. So that's going to be my focus. And I guarantee you, with that focus, we'll probably talk about it on the podcast.
And so what this brings up is everybody hates resolutions. And I think everybody hates them because it's cliche that you never end up keeping resolutions. You just need to look at them more as goals. And I think going into this year, what I've learned during our podcast lessons is you need to be patient. And if you are working on those goals, you can't go into them and get disappointed when you don't meet them. What you need to do is, if you don't hit those goals, you need to figure out why you didn't hit those goals and work on how to hit it the next time. And I think some of us lose track on that. You just feel like you missed the goal. Now I failed. What am I going to do in the company? Things like that. That kind of spirals in because our emotions get so involved on something you're trying to grow that you need to just have that patience and figure out how you're going to go past that setback and make sure, how do I now reach it in either the third quarter or the fourth quarter of this next year coming up.
Yeah. And for those out there who are looking at next year and thinking of the long list of stuff you have to do, choose one. Just choose one. Don't worry about the rest. They'll all happen eventually. But if you just focus on one, as Justin would say, was a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. We were talking about some health stuff before, and I was lamenting I didn't know where to start. And he goes, well, just take the first step. Don't worry about the end journey. Just do it, as Nike would say. And I think that's great. I think going into the next year as well, we understand as business owners. I think both you and I have had this where we are overwhelmed with how much we have to improve. Have you ever been there?
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
How just from a New Year's resolution point, how do you tackle that?
It's interesting right now. I've just been working on this last week. I've been trying to work on this whole year. And because we've talked about the book, The One Thing. And that what it is basically, if you break down, if there's 16 things that you have to do, what is the absolute one thing that is going to give you the most beneficial aspect in your life, whether it is business, health, family, religion, whatever that is? What is the one thing that if you did that and spend so much time on it, that it's going to make everything else successful? And as much as I've tried to preach that, as much as I've tried to bring that into my own philosophies of how to accomplish it, it's not as easy as it looks. And I was listening to Alex Ramosi podcast, which you'll hear me mention him a lot because I really like his philosophies. He's been talking about this probably because it's the end of the year thing. And he was even breaking it down as to, look, if you have these 3 or 4 things, quit looking at the 3 things. What is that one thing, that 4th thing, that main thing that you can focus on? And really put your time and effort into that. And what I'm going to be doing in the morning, I just bought some noise canceling headphones. And I am just going to be spending the first hour to 2 hours in the morning working on that one thing. And it's just going to have to be my philosophy of what I do and try it for 3 months and just see how that works for me. So that is my biggest personal goal for the company, besides what the company's growth is this year, on trying to perfect and see how I do with that.
I think that's huge. And to our business owners, look, we've been in business. How long have you been in business? You've done a bunch of businesses for, what is it?
12 years over.
Over 12 years. We've been in business since 2010. So we're at 14 going into 15 years of being in business. And we have very different levels of success. Like I would say between the two of us, Justin's had way more success as building a business with employees. We've had a lot more success at developing unique items like building out our own coaching program. And we built that out. That's huge. It's a very different thing than what Justin's built. We both have success in our own little worlds. They also look very different. If we just compared money, well, Justin's going to win, hands down. If we compared like random things we've done, like Justin, did you publish a book last year?
I did not.
Okay. I win, right?
We both started a podcast.
We both went on that one. We did a great job. But don't look at another business is what I'm saying and go, well, they're doing X, Y, and Z, therefore I failed. Wherever you are in your business, you have a journey. And that could look radically different than everyone else's journey. As long as you keep your doors open, as long as you don't quit, as long as you pay your bills, and maybe even have a little something left over, you are successful.
Yeah, you should be looking back at this last year at what growth you did have. Sometimes it's minute things that you're not really realizing that you had the growth on. And maybe it is just bringing on one more employee. Maybe it's you are expediting how you are getting certain projects done. If you're into advertising, how much more advertising were you able to get out? What's the ratio of what you were bringing advertising on and what you were bringing in? So look at those little things, and if you are having the incremental things, maybe it's that tough year, but at least those little things, you can see the accomplishments that you made.
And remember, no matter where you are in life, there's 2 types of lessons: free lessons and expensive lessons. And whether you made an expensive lesson and you learned it, or you got a free lesson, the key is you learned something. And I can definitely look back over the last 14 years and look at all the expensive lessons I've learned. And they've set me back sometimes years and where I should be, because that was an expensive lesson. Could be time, could be the wrong focus, could be something else. Or, and here's the crazy thing, I'm at 14 years, and this is something I was talking to my business partner about, and I think I've talked to you about this as well, where I felt like I failed my business partner, and I didn't understand why we weren't doing the numbers I wanted to hit, and grow like I wanted to grow, and all these things. And there were some health issues. There's a lot of things that happened the last couple of years, but I was feeling down. This is before we decided to do our coaching program. When my business partner presented that, I was like, why would we do this? This is not what I've been trying to build. I don't understand. And the minute I finally got it through my head, this was the right move for us, there was suddenly a light bulb moment. I could have tried to do coaching year one. I don't think we would have ever lasted as a business. I have 14 years of helping businesses make millions of dollars. I've seen a lot of these companies we've done video work for, graphics for, help them with their marketing plans, actually done free coaching for them and just never charged for it, and help them bring in millions of dollars in revenue, tens of millions. Now that we're like finally stepping into this coaching thing, it is all clicking, and I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it. And Justin's sitting here probably seeing me with the biggest smile I get when I talk about this, because I get excited, almost excited when I talk about AI and social media, but I get excited about where we're going as a business over the next couple of years because of the new thing we're doing, because we could not have done this new venture without all these years of learning and putting in hard work, sweat and tears. We couldn't have done it. So even if you're at a point where you just don't feel like you're making that progress, you just feel stuck, it may be something later in life you get to catch that in.
Yeah, it's that learning experience. What I say a couple times, the Rocky cutscene.
Yeah.
To where you just need to realize that it takes those years of training to be able to perfect the profession that you're in, and you will eventually see it. It's just, that's part of business. That's part of growth. That's part of the learning process of it. And hopefully you can learn to embrace that, knowing that you are building something. And if you can get past that and know that really other people are struggling. And I say that because nobody wants to struggle. Nobody wants to hear that other people are struggling, but we're all going through it. One of the things we talked about before this podcast was the fact that these last 2 weeks, I wouldn't say it was depression, but I was having a couple of hard weeks. Maybe it was the weather, the rain, it was the lack of sun that we're getting right now. And I just was having a tough time getting up in the morning. Even at work, I was coming to my wife and going, man, I'm just having an off day. I just hate feeling this way. And it just happens. So you know that there are other people out there that they're struggling. They've been through the struggles. And that's what setting goals are for, though. Hopefully it's the little bigger ones that you can meet. But even if it's the incremental ones, you need to set those going into the next year. So hopefully you'll feel that accomplishment by the end of it.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the goal of surviving. Like, as a business, surviving is the name of the game. I don't care who you are. If you make it past the 5-year mark, you have successfully beaten something like 85% of other businesses. Most businesses don't make it past 5 years, much less 12 years of doing business or 14 years. Like, there have definitely been times when our success was, we made it. We made it through a year. Look at what COVID did to a lot of businesses. Yeah. We both made it through COVID, and that was rough when no one was coming like to people's buildings and everything else. That was hard for everybody, and trying to convince people by marketing when no one's coming to their shop. Let me tell you, that was fun. that was a lot of doors shut in my face, so to speak, and no's over the phone because I couldn't physically see anybody. A lot of hang-ups and just not a lot of traction. But we survived because we knew how to shift and we knew how to play this game and get through it. So don't ever feel like just because you didn't get to where you want to go that you're a failure. Failing is when you throw in the towel.
You give up. Yes.
100%.
Yeah, so for this next year, we're hoping that you can really look at what you need to do. Don't look at the setbacks that happened as something that's misery. You need to look at them as these are things that I got past, and I'm going to do better this next year.
Yeah. And to all our business owners who are listening to this, we would love it. And we're not going to hold you accountable or anything to this, but we'd love to know it in a comment section below. No matter what platform you're listening to, if there's a place to give a comment, give us a comment. Drop a comment. If you can't find a place to do a comment, hop over to YouTube. You can put comments on our YouTube channel. We'd love to see your comments to see what you're trying to accomplish this next year.
What are your goals this next year?
What are your goals next year? I think that's pretty much it, because I know, it's almost in a year and people are ready to party.
That's it.
That's it, right? Well, from us to you, we hope this next year brings nothing but joy, happiness, and success.
Have a great 2025.
2025, baby. And of course, keep listening to us, because we are the Average White Guys.